Hi guys, it's Miss Goldsby. So I am on a Chromebook, which I got from school, but I am signed in as a teacher, so I'm not sure what differences there might be. But I know that working on a Chromebook is a bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this lesson 3 with you and go through a little bit of it and see what kind of differences we have here. So I already signed into AES. I am in a student account. I have completed lesson 1, the ribbon, and lesson 2, shortcuts, which you should have also. I do have my worksheet open already. Remember, you want to click here to open up your worksheet. And here's my worksheet. I have 13 of 55 entries done, and I am going to scroll down here, possibly. Even moving in a Chromebook is different than my HP laptop that I use. Now, I did do the questions for lesson 2, but I didn't know what happened to them. Maybe I did not refresh, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Navigating a document. So we're going to start this lesson, and here we go. You cannot hear the video coming out of my computer. So as you know from doing AES, the program is speaking and talking to us. I'm going to turn this down. This kind of makes my voice glitch out. All right, so the first thing, remember, anytime it says step, I want you to do something. You should read through all of the instructions. Step 1, resize and arrange the instruction window. Number 1, resize this instruction window so it's as small as possible. Move it to the right side of the screen. Play the video to see an example. Well, the video is here. If you haven't noticed that, there's a little video. Usually doesn't talk when they're within the screen. Now, on a Chromebook, your screen is pretty small anyway, so it's up to you how you want to get your screen. If you go up to your tabs, here's my tab up here. I can pull down on it and drag it down and separate it. And once I separate it, I can notice how when I get over here to the right, we have this little shadow that comes up. Once I see that, I can let this go and it splits my screen. Now, usually once I do that, I need to go back up here to this area and move it again. Well, it doesn't behave the same as a Windows machine, so you're going to have to drag this one over. Now, when you go on any of the edges of a window, you get a double-headed arrow, and you can resize your document. So I'm just resizing this right now, my worksheet. And if I want to, I can minimize it, and it's down here at the moment. And there it is. All right, I'm actually just going to maximize this. And I am going to see if I can move this window. Not so user-friendly with that either. So I am going to have to close this for now. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to hit next. I know this is going to be kind of a long video, but I need to tell you guys all this stuff that when you're working on a Chromebook. All right, so step 2, download and open attachment. Open the house divided speech, period, docx. Docx, that lets you know it's a Word document. It is attached to Microsoft Word. If you get any messages, always allow access or enable editing in all cases. Now notice there's a hint. Oftentimes there's a hint in these lessons. So if I click on the hint, it shows me that it's possible that I might get this message. I'm going to hit allow. Or I might get this one that says protected view, and then I want to enable editing. Position Microsoft Word so you could see these instructions. Your screen should look something like the image to the left. So here is the attachments. They're always at the top right. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on my attachment. Now on a Chromebook, it comes down here on the right, and it says Download Manager, and then it says Show in Folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click Show in Folder. And it's coming up. All right, now, so you have a Google Drive attached to your school district account automatically. So since this is a Google Chromebook, all your files download into Google Drive. Your Google address is actually the same as your school address. So you can see that here's my file right here. Student material, house divided. I downloaded it. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open it up. Actually, I'm going to double click on it. Now, when you are using a Chromebook, your files, you get to them down here. This is called the launcher. If I click on it, I can go here to Files, and I see my files. All right, I'm going to close this. All right, so we have the file open. And now we're going to go back to AES and see what it wants us to do with it. Okay, we're going to hit Next. And what this lesson is about, Lesson 3, Navigating a Document, it's going to show you the different ways that you can move around when you're working in a document. So you need to pay attention because it's going to give you tips. And the faster you can move around in a document, the faster you can get your work done. So we're going to hit Next. My touchpad's very glitchy. All right, so remember when we have a pencil, we can click on it, and it tells us we're going to get the answer to question 1A, and 1A wants a definition of the insertion point. So you can see that the definition is right here. A point where you can enter text on the page, so you're going to type that into your worksheet. It says move the cursor by moving the mouse and clicking where you want. Oh, there's a typo. The cursor to be placed. All right, we're going to hit Next. You can also move the insertion point using keyboard shortcuts. All right, so it talks about moving the insertion point using the keyboard. We have another question here. This is 2A and 2D. So there's actually the answer to 4 questions here, which are about the left and right arrows, the up and down arrows. And you guys have used all those before. All right, so we're going to hit Next. All right, so it says you try it, move the insertion point. So anytime you start seeing these instructions, you want to do what they say. Click anywhere in the house divided speech. Move the location of the insertion point. They want you to try clicking with the mouse, and there's a hint there. Using the left and right arrow, using the right and left arrows, using the home and the end key. So I'm going to go to my file, which is right here. Now I could pull this over and get it separated so I could see the instructions. And you can do that how you want to do it. You can drag it down and have it one on top of the other. Just depends on how you want to have it. So it wants us to click. So if I click here, that's how I can move my cursor. And it wants us to use the up arrow, the down arrow, the left and right arrows. Okay, so that's easy stuff, and I'm sure you all know that. What's really cool is there's a key called the home and the end. Well, guess what? There's not a home and end on a Chromebook, so you're not going to be able to do that. But if you have a Windows machine, maybe you can use your parents' computer sometime if they're done using it for work or whatever. There is a key called home, and there is one called end. And the home key takes you to the beginning of the line, and the end key takes you to the end of a line. I'm going to hit next. What is the point where the blinking cursor is located referred to? That's the insertion point. And then what keyboard shortcut would you use if you wanted to quickly move to the end of a line? That would be end. Okay. Now it's going to go on and it's going to talk about the scroll bar and different things. So when you're doing these lessons on a Chromebook, you may not be able to do everything, but do the best you can. You can always look at the pictures here and the lesson to get an answer possibly. If it's something that you can't find on a Chromebook, don't stress out about it. I understand that it's a little bit different. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Remember the pencil. It's giving us an answer. I'm going to find question 3 here. Now, I'm going to go a little bit faster, and I never recommend this for you, but I want to get through this video so you can do your own work. So I'm going to go ahead and get through this. And once again, I would recommend getting a mouse. If you don't have one, it'll save your hands. And they're going to talk about navigation using the keyboard. There's keyboard shortcuts that you can use. Now, you don't have a home key or an end key, so you can't do Control Home and Control N. But when you go back to school, or if you have another computer you can use at home, these keyboard shortcuts work on, like if you're scrolling on the internet and you want to get to the beginning, you can hit Control Home. But that's not going to work on the Chromebook. Now, I don't know if there's a shortcut for that or not. I would have to Google it, which is something that you guys can do on your own too. All right, page up, page down. I don't see that on the Chromebook either, although there could be another key for it. Once again, I would have to Google it. All right, so I'm going to skip all this. And what is the fastest way to move to the end of a document is Control End. And which keyboard shortcuts move the document one full page at a time? Select all that apply. That would be page up, page down. Now, I'm not going to mark that one. All right, that one could move you multiple pages. All right, the point where you can enter text is your insertion point. Refers to the action of moving the displayed content up and down, and then the sliding bar. I'm going through this real fast, which you guys need to read everything. I just have went through this before, so I can go through it real fast. In this lesson, now, it's important that you always get to the end of the lesson. Okay? Now, it had you do some things to this file, which you can't really do too much to it because you're missing some of the keys. Once I hit exit, the window closes, says it's complete. It does not tell you need to save this file at all, so you can go ahead and close it. And that is the lesson for the day. And once we start saving the files on the Chromebook and whatnot, I will give you another lesson. Okay.